we have sex 3 times a day, every day of the week, but nothing is coming out. Instead of every. Have you been finding it difficult to conceive? You've sought so many opinions and gone to so many hospitals. You and your husband are very fine by the reports from the doctors. However, you still have not been able to conceive. It could possibly be because you have not fully understood your safe days and your fertile window. Hi, my name is Dr. Priscilla Akila, and this is a safe space for honest conversations about female reproductive health. In this video, I'll be teaching you how to calculate and know your safe days and fertile window. So let's get right into it. So before we dive into the main topic of the day, I would like to make you understand that before you would be able to know your safe days and your fertile window, it is important for you to be able to calculate the length of your cycle. It's good for you to know your cycle length. By that, you can easily track your safe days and your fertile window. To know your cycle length, to calculate your safe days and fertile window is much easier when you have a regular menstrual cycle. Research has shown that the average menstrual cycle length is 28 days, but it can vary from 21 days to 35 days. So some women will see theirs around 21, 22, 23 days. Some will see theirs around 25, 26, some up to even 35 days. But the average is 28 days. And that cycle, if it is regular, you see that it's most likely around that 28th day plus or minus 2 days. That's between the 26th day and the 30th day of their menstrual cycle. Now, I want us to understand how to calculate our cycle length, and that is why I'm going to use this month of January 2026. So Janet saw her period in January. Let's see, the first day is 3rd of January. And remember that the first day of the menstrual cycle is the first day that the lady starts seeing the blood. Let's see, the 3rd of January is the first day of the menstrual cycle for Janet in January. Okay, I'm so sorry. I don't know. I could not capture this part really so far. All right, so what I simply did here was that we said the 3rd of January, right, is the first day of her menstrual cycle. That means the first day she saw her blood for that month. And one menstrual cycle is from the first day to the last day before another menstrual cycle. So the first day she saw the blood, that is the first day. Okay, then she bleeds for a number of days, and then the period keeps on going before the last day. Now, in the month of January, she bled for 4 days, from the 3rd of January to the 6th of January. So this is day 1 of the cycle, day 2, day 3, and day 4. So if she bleeds for 4 days, now this is still part of her cycle, because I said this first day is what? The first day of the menstrual cycle. That is the 3rd of January. So the last day of her cycle should be the 28th day, since we said she has the cycle of 28 days, right? So let's calculate to see. We will count from this first day to the 28th day of the cycle. I don't mean 28th of the month, no. I mean the 28th day based on the first day she started seeing her period. So let's count together again and see. So this is day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. Then day 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, and 28. Now, her whole cycle length ended on the 30th of January. That is the 28th day of her cycle, because she's likely to see her next period what? On the next day after that last day. That is the 31st of January 2026. So the cycle length is from the first day of seeing that blood, that's the first day, to the last day before another cycle begins. So our next cycle will continue in February, right? Even though it started within this month of January. And that's why some women will be like, oh, I see my period twice in a month. No, it depends on your cycle length. And for Janet, she started quite earlier within the month, and so she was most likely to see another period within that same month, even though it came at the end, because 28 days can still be accommodated inside the calendar. I don't know if that makes sense. Okay, so I had said that the average menstrual cycle is 28 days plus or minus 2 days. So the period can come earlier, it can come later, depending on hormones, nutrition, weight, and a lot of factors that can affect the period, whether making it later or even earlier. So she can see it 2 days before or 2 days after the predicted date. Do you understand what I'm trying to explain? So let's get back to understanding why we're here, okay? So we now know her cycle length from 3rd to the 30th. That is 28 days. So let's calculate to know when Sister Janet likely ovulated in the month of January in this her 28-day cycle, okay? Now, research has shown that a woman is likely to ovulate 14 days before her next cycle. I'm not saying on the 14th day of the cycle, mbano. I'm not saying on the 14th of the month, mbano. What I'm saying is 14 days before the next cycle. So the next cycle is supposed to start what? On the 31st of that January, Abby. Now, 14 days before this 31st, if we count backwards, whichever date it lands on, that is the day she's likely to ovulate. Now, let's do something. Follow me step by step, okay? So, 14 days before 31st, let's count backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14th day before this next period or this next cycle landed on the 15th day of the menstrual cycle, 17th of January, for a 28-day cycle that Janet had in the month of January. Now, there's another thing. I don't want you to get confused, okay? The easiest way to calculate this for yourself is just know your cycle length first of all, and that is the essence of all these calculations. Her cycle length is 28 days. So, subtract 14 from 28 days. Whatever you get, that's the number of the day on which she will or she's likely to ovulate, because ovulation can come earlier or even later depending on stress, illness, travel, hormones, and a lot of things that can happen. Just like your period can delay or come earlier, ovulation can also delay or come earlier depending on all those factors. Okay, so 28 minus 14, calculator will give you 14. Okay, so that means on the day 14 of the cycle, that is when she's likely to ovulate. Now, let me put another 14 here, right? 14. So what now happened to this 14 that I have here? Okay, now the thing is, ovulation does not have a particular day. Okay, it must be this day. Even the 14 days before the next menstrual cycle is estimated. It is likely to happen around that time, but no be say it must be. If you not come on that 15th day of the cycle, and the 15th day of the cycle is what, 17th of January, so that let's say Janet was waiting, that 17th of January, I must have my period on my ovulation on that day. If it's not that day, then it is wrong. No, it can happen even 2 days, sometimes even up to 3 days, 5 days, earlier or later, depending on the factors that I've mentioned earlier. So anyway, you can get it, but this is the easiest way. Okay, you can say 29 minus 14, it will give you the 15th day of the cycle. If you do 28 days minus 14, you get what? The 14th day of the cycle. That is this day of January. I hope we are making sense. So let's clean this one so that you can just take one. Use this one. It's more accurate, or it's more easier to remember, so that if you know your cycle length, if it is 26 days, so you say 26 minus 14, you go and land on 12. So on the 12th day of the cycle, that's when you are likely to ovulate, but it can come earlier or later. Now, we are going with the 14th day of her cycle. That is the 16th of January, 2026. This is the day that she's likely to ovulate. On this 14th day, she's likely to ovulate. Now, ovulation, we have defined it that it is the release of an egg from the ovary, and it is essential for fertilization to occur, because this egg, when it comes, that is what meets with the sperm to give a baby. So if you don't know exactly the period that this is likely to happen, then pregnancy will be more difficult to achieve. Okay, now fertile window, she's likely to ovulate on the 14th day. Now, we've said that ovulation can happen even earlier or later than the predicted date. There is an allowance of about 2 days, some even say up to 5 days safe, depending on stress, illness, hormones, travel, and so many factors can affect the length of or the period during which you ovulate, including the same way you see your menstrual cycle. Your cycles can adjust based on all of those factors. Okay, so now let's give an allowance of 2 days in the case of Sister Janet. She ovulated on the 14th day. That's what we are suspecting, okay? So 2 days before the day she's likely to ovulate and 2 days after the day she's likely to ovulate, that period form her fertile window. So now let's count backwards and see. So this is the day, okay, that we're suspecting she will have what? Her ovulation. That is the 14th day of the cycle. Now, it's possible she can also ovulate on the 13th day. She can also ovulate on the 12th day. I beg you. She can also ovulate on the 15th day of the cycle or on the 16th day of the cycle. Okay? So 2 days before or after, they are all possibilities for ovulation. And the egg can last in the woman's body for about 12 to 24 hours before the body will clear it off. So even within that period, she's likely to also get pregnant if she has unprotected sexual intercourse. So this is the fertile window, but we are not done yet. There's still more to this. Another very important thing is that when a woman has unprotected sexual intercourse, 5 days before the day she ovulates, she's likely to get pregnant if she has unprotected sexual intercourse and sperm gets into her body. Why is that possible? Because research has shown that sperm is likely to survive in the woman's body from 3 to 5 days before that ovulation. Okay, that's generally 3 to 5 days, okay? So imagine that she now has sex between 3 to 5 days before her ovulation. That means that sperm can sit down patiently waiting for the blessed egg in order to fertilize it, and she's likely to what? Get pregnant. So this is very important for you, because if you're trying to conceive, this could be something you should understand. If you're trying to avoid pregnancy, this is also something you should understand. Okay, this is the calendar method. Now we said 5 days before, so since she's likely to ovulate up to this day backward, okay, let's count 5 more days backward. It also gives an allowance that she's likely to get what? Pregnant if she has unprotected sexual intercourse, because the sperm can wait. Let's say she has sex on this day. It's supposed to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so in this her period now, her fertile window has expanded. Initially we had just 5 days, but now we have 10 days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So she's likely to get pregnant when she has unprotected sexual intercourse within these 10 days. Now, as I said, we had already thought that found out that she likely ovulated on the 14th day. And we said we can give an allowance of 2 days before and after. So let's say that ovulation happened on the day 12, okay? Counting backwards, as I said, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because the sperm can last in the body. She's likely to ovulate on those days. What if the ovulation had happened on the 16th day? It's delayed from the time that we're thinking that she would ovulate. From the 16th day now, okay? That means if you count backward by 5 days, if she has sexual intercourse within those days, she's likely to get pregnant, because sperm still they wait for egg. Counting backwards from the 16th day, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So she's likely to get pregnant within these 5 days before that ovulation. So all these things are possibilities. There's no hard and fast rule about it. Okay, so this is the basic thing you need to understand about calculating your fertile window, and there is more to this. If you are looking for pregnancy, if you want to get pregnant, these 10 days should be days of marathon. If you're trying to avoid pregnancy, please avoid these 10 days. Now, this is for a 28-day cycle, as we have seen, but it can vary depending on the length of your cycle. This video is getting too long, but in the next video, I'll be sharing with you how to calculate the ovulation date, the likely ovulation date, the fertile window, and the safe period for every cycle length. So this is the basic thing you need to understand about how to calculate your fertile window. Thank you so much for watching till this time, and I'm so grateful to have you here. I'm enthusiastic about teaching you to understand your body and everything about your female reproductive health. You can share this video with your friends, your wives, and everybody that you know needs to understand their fertile window and their safe days. In another video, I'll be teaching you how to calculate step by step the fertile window and the safe days for every cycle length. Today we took for 28 days. For the next video, I'll be taking from 21 days to 35 days. So each of those cycle lengths, I'll be teaching you how to calculate the safe days and the fertile window. Until next time, Take care of your body, protect your health, and live with purpose. Thank you and bye.